Hi guys, welcome to a very special episode of Concert Queen Connect. This is going to be a solo podcast where it's just you and me chatting, answering questions, talking about all different types of things. If it's music, if it's life, if it's what's going on in the world, if there's some new music that's come out, just gonna be able to talk about it all. I want to make this way more casual than, again, I'm on social media and I'm talking to you for like a real quick minute, attention span short, but this is my chance to talk to you, something way more long form, something that, again, you and I just get our weekly check-in and able to just chat about things going on. And I feel like with what's been going on in the world, it's hard to kind of just jump into automatically interviewing artists, interviewing guests, and having these conversations without kind of really talking about where I've come from and what I've been going through, and kind of just putting that out there, making it all into the universe so everyone knows about it. You guys know about it. And again, we can kind of just keep moving forward. But I want you to know that this has not necessarily been the easiest couple of months, and literally probably, again, the question that I get asked probably weekly, especially when all of this stuff started, obviously the COVID period, this era, this age that we're in right now. But people ask me, Clarissa, how are you doing? Like, it's like people just expect me to have this just nervous breakdown whenever a live music event and is announced or something, again, was canceled. I, like many of y'all, were affected. For those of you that don't know, I have done and was doing medical sales for years. It was probably one of my, say, like my second job out of college. And that's pretty much like what I have used and what I have done to fuel this passion for music and concerts. And again, having a nice, steady, stable job, just like everyone, that you kind of, again, that's a safe place to be. You're playing it safe. And it's not something that, again, you're not having to necessarily worry about where your next paycheck's coming from as an entrepreneur, as a solopreneur. But again, like with that being said, I left that industry. I left that job, that nice, safe, secure, comfortable space in December. And again, like a lot of people, we did not know this was going to happen. We didn't know that something like a global pandemic was going to hit the world. And again, I couldn't have predicted that. And again, it was really hard to let go of that safety and security that I had with this job. And again, I've talked to a lot of people out there that have either quit their jobs or were going through some stuff. And that's not the real pretty, shiny kind of Instagram photos that you see. And you don't see that hardship. You don't see the struggles that people are going through. And that was something that I don't even feel like I really shared. But people, I really appreciate you checking in on me, making sure I was good. There were some really dark times. And when I say that, there was everything from, again, like working and leaving my medical sales job, and again, going into working with a business partner and working 100% for ourselves and relying on our accounts. And now you're in this entrepreneurial phase where, again, like you're reliant on people to pay you versus, again, having that direct deposit and things that I had that safety and security for. So again, like that for me was not something that was easy. Again, it was a shaky place, and I'm so grateful for the family that I have and the friends that I have that I was really able to lean on. And that was something that I think a lot of people, we tend to just put on these armors, and you don't literally let people in, or you let people see you when you're at your weakest moment. And I feel like that's something that I really learned during this time was it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to be weak sometimes and lean on people to help lift you up. And those are the people that now I surround myself with. And I think before, with what I was going through, and I had an awesome 2019. I feel really good about that. I feel really good about my 2018, but I also was not my happiest. I think when I go and I look at the different shows I went to. And it's that highlight reel that even I look at, and it kind of, again, erases the moments that maybe I was depressed. Maybe I didn't want to get out of bed. I will say that having a dog, having Leon, has helped considerably to get me up and as an instant mood lifter. But I just didn't necessarily want to show those weak moments. And I think we're all a little prideful, and it's just a natural human emotion too. I'm not someone that can typically ask for help. That's probably the hardest thing for me, is to ask people for help. This was a time where I had to ask for help. I had to ask for support from friends and family to help me ride through this. If I was feeling weak or feeling low, or again, not having that human connection that I was so used to having. And that itself, that is why I do what I do. That is why I love connecting with people and talking to you, either in DMs or events or live interaction. This is what I love. I love talking, not to myself, obviously, but talking to you and having these conversations where you're not alone. And that is what music is for me. That's what it's always done. It's always been my escape. It's been my release. It's been something that I'm able to connect with people. And even though we are all speaking the same language, we all have different interests, one of the things that I've probably loved the most is even reminiscing about old shows with people. And when people ask me, I love that they want to come up and talk to me about concerts and things that they've seen. And once they find out and they're like, oh, you're the concert queen. Like, one of my favorite concerts was this concert, and they tell me all about it. And just seeing their faces light up, talking about these memorable experiences, is the same reason that I light up. And it's the same reason that I look forward to shows every single week. And it literally brings me so much joy to share those experiences, share those moments, and hope. I mean, just again, that was probably the hardest thing for me. Was I feel like sometimes when you're behind a screen and people do not necessarily respond or react, and you're like, is this thing on? Is anyone listening? And you're there. And I get it that sometimes people do not reach out all the time, but you're watching, you're listening. And when I have those moments, and literally, I mean, again, it happened last weekend where someone was like, I just want you to know that I appreciate you. I respect your hustle. I see what you're doing. And I thank you for what you do for the community. That means everything to me. I get sincerely moved. I could, again, an emotional crier, but I can cry sometimes when those things are so touching. And it means the world to me. And I just want you to know that you mean the world to me. I'm here for you. I'm going through it too. We're all going through it. We're not at the end of it. I thought, just like you, that this was going to be something. My birthday's in July. Oh, I'm going to be partying on a boat, having a good time, celebrate my birthday, big party. Had a big party last year. And this year was not the case. And I'm so grateful, again, for the friends that I do have, that I was able to spend time with, that really, and shout out Josh and Sarah, really good friends of mine that really kind of stepped up to the plate to saw through the shield that I was putting up of not wanting to ask for help, of not wanting to be a burden to anyone and have people do things for me. And again, that's where I've always kind of been self-sufficient. I try to do these things for myself, and something like a birthday that I was so used to celebrating, that was not going to be the same this year. They really kind of just took me under their wing, had a birthday celebration. Again, they were people that I was spending my time with. So again, it was a very safe environment, but we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, this has just been a time for priorities for me to be rearranged in a positive way, in a healthy way. I used to want to be at every single event, every single week, and things just kind of fell to the wayside. I was more concerned with my FOMO, my fear of missing out, and not having the experience and not seeing whatever. And granted, again, I love these things. I absolutely love the experience. I love to be the first person at a party. I love to see what's going on. I love to know the inside scoop and the tea, just like we all do. I love that stuff. I thrive on that stuff. I love knowing what's going on. I love knowing the hot spots, and I love that people love me to be there at their places and at their spots. However, what fell to the wayside was those relationships, was those friendships, was that time with family that I did not have. And my family means a lot to me. I'm from San Antonio. They live in San Antonio. And during this time, I was not able to see them. And again, just with what's going on, and I have a new niece who's beautiful that I was able to meet a couple weeks ago for the first time. And again, that just really puts things into perspective. And I feel like for you, if you've had that time to stop and reflect and really prioritize, just hold on to that and make sure that you know what's important to you, because that is what really matters. And hold on to that. I don't know if you need to write it down on your phone, keep it on a Post-it note, tattoo it on your arm. I don't know. Just do something that reminds you of what's really important. If it's your friend that's going to ground you, find something for that. So where a lot of this positivity comes from for me is the way I was raised. And a lot of people don't know this about me, but I am actually a life coach, and not just a self-proclaimed life coach that a lot of people do right now. I actually have a certification in it. I went to the Institute of Professional Excellence in Coaching. So I was given all of these tools. I went to school for 10 months while I was in Dallas for this. So while, like I said, I personally am not coaching people right now, I'd love to do that in the future if I had time. And I love pushing people, not mean girl style, like I'm a pusher, I'm going to push you. Not like that. I am a pusher in the sense that I want people to achieve their dreams. I want people to achieve their goals, identify those blocks. I love psychology and psychoanalyzing people, not in a weird way where I'm going to ask you questions, but I'm very, very good at reading people and sensing and getting to kind of like who they are right away. I hear things, and I've been trained in that. So a lot of these things that I'm going to tell you are ways that you can help yourself. And they're ways that I use literally to help myself as well and kind of keep myself grounded. But again, with what's going on in the world, these tools that I have been extra helpful, but also not running away from the feelings and from the emotions and the things that maybe in the past I used distractions, I used events, I used whatever it could be. Whatever kind of vice is out there, I've probably tried it in a way to not communicate how I'm feeling, but now I do. And now I have a very healthy way of dealing with these things and talking about these things, with journaling, with, again, talking with friends and people that matter and having those safe spaces to have those conversations. And I will say again, number one for me, it is surrounding myself with the right people. I am a connector. I surround myself with people that are positive, that have the right intentions for themselves and for me. And I look at that a lot when I'm meeting someone for the first time. I look at their intentions. What is this person? Are they genuinely wanting to meet me, or do they have other intentions that are self-imposed for them? Number one, I always look at especially when I was starting this whole platform and even this podcast is basically when I was starting Concert Queen, I wanted to support others and support musicians and support others. And I think that's literally the best point of view to have, is if you're looking at it from a very selfless place and how can I support you? This is for everybody. When you're looking at it from that kind of perspective, you're coming from a place of service. And that is a good place to be. I'm going to be way more inclined to help you if you're coming to me saying, how can I help you? It's just a natural feeling to want to help that person as well and have them help you in exchange. But again, very healthy way to come from that place. With music right now, with concerts, with events, and things that are not the way that they used to be. Who knows when they will be that way? I don't know. But I will say that things, you cannot control those other things. You can control yourself. So I'm going to give you 4 ways right now to safely, mentally go back out into the world and start living your life in a positive way. These are the Concert Queen Connect ways to go back and connect out to the world. Number 1, respect other people. Respect their space, respect who they are. If, again, you're a non-masker, good for you, but it's not about your human rights. It's not about trying to police who you are and mute your voice. And if you're doing this, you're a sheep. It's not about that. This is just about respecting other people's boundaries. Maybe you don't want to wear a mask, but the people around you, maybe they do. Maybe they are immune compromised. Maybe, again, I'm not getting into the science about this. I'm getting at this from the human respect point of view. Have respect for other people and respect for people that, again, we're talking about a place of service. How you can help others is by respecting them and respecting their boundaries. Maybe not getting so up close to someone who may not be comfortable yet. We all have different varying comfort levels right now, and you should be, just in general, respectful of others. That to me means the world. When someone asks me how, again, the greetings are all super awkward right now. I'm looking at people like, I freak out every time someone puts their hand out. I still do. I've shaken people's hands. I've got my trusty hand sanitizer. I've got the mask. I've got all the different things that I'm using to protect myself. However, I personally, it's just a jarring thing. I don't know when I'm going to not kind of flinch when someone puts their hand out to shake my hand. But that's okay. That's my comfort level. And that's respecting my boundary. Again, someone else's boundary. Just err with the side of caution. Number 2, manage expectations of others. If you are going out into the world, you're like, I'm going to respect other people. But you go out and people are just wilding out around you, and that makes you highly uncomfortable. Maybe you shouldn't be going out. You got Billy Bob and Joe Sue all up in your business. That is not your job, and you cannot control other people. So just give it up right now. And I will tell you, right now is a free-for-all out there. People are doing what they want to do. And if you're going out there with the expectation that everyone should have your point of view and everyone should be doing what you're doing and social distancing or not social distancing or wearing masks, not wearing masks, whatever that looks like for you, manage your own expectations. And again, if that is triggering for you, if that is something where if you go out and you're going to see people all up in each other's business and that is going to be an issue for you, maybe don't go to that place. My dad used to tell me this all the time growing up. If it can be avoided, avoid it. If you know that being in those types of situations is going to be triggering for you, don't do it. Now, 3rd is own your shit. And when I say own your shit, own whatever it is you're doing. I see a lot of people that apologize, and this kind of just applies to life in general. I see a lot of people that always feel like you have to explain yourself, or they don't. I did a survey a while ago where I asked if people feel like they purposely don't post on social media because they're scared of what people are going to say. An overwhelming response of people did that. We're at a point right now where everyone is going to have an opinion of anything you do, good or bad. I had a friend who was at a protest and someone was upset at her for not being at the very front of the protest. She was there protesting. She had more guts than I did to get out there. I was still freaking out about being in those types of situations. But again, my comfort level, my own prerogative. And same with her. She was there. She was doing what she felt she should be doing and was still being judged for it. You're going to be judged no matter what. You're going to be people that there are going to be people that are doing less than what you're doing, or there's people doing more than what you're doing. But essentially, you just need to own your own shit. Handle your own shit, care about you, do what you need to do for yourself, but own it. There's no need to apologize for what you're doing. There's no need to second guess posting. Just own it and feel good about it and know that that's exactly what you wanted at that time. And that's okay. And not everyone is going to agree with you. Not everyone is going to feel some type of way about what you're doing, but do you. Just do you, boo-boo. That is what matters. And that's what is going to give you peace. Being present, owning that moment for yourself. And the final way to go out into the world is find the fun. And I mean this because I consciously have to make an effort, and I probably look like a crazy person sometimes talking in my car, but I will tell myself, Clarissa, you're going to have a great day today. Everything's going to work out. You're going to have awesome. This meeting's going to go great. This night is going to be fantastic. I'm going to have fun. And 10 out of 10 times I do, because I've already put that in my head that I'm going to do it. I'm going to find the fun. I'm going to find the positive of this. The fun of this is that I get to sit here and talk to you unfiltered, and it's awesome. I love that. Is it in a giant room at a concert? Not necessarily, but again, comparison, like they say, is the thief of joy. And if you're constantly comparing yourself to others, if you're, again, like me, for instance, I am comparing where I am now. I do that a lot to where I was. And sometimes I feel like I'm taking a step back, and that's not the case. The case is it's just different. It's not, and it's for a better reason. Everything that's happening is for a reason. And again, while it's not what it used to be or where I thought I should be, I am where I am right now. And I'm going to have fun. Fun is a value for me, and it's important to have fun doing what I'm doing. If that's at work, if that's laughing, if that's cracking jokes, when appropriate, obviously. But I'm going to find the fun in those situations and have that mentality going into it. And I guarantee you, you will find the fun in whatever it is you're doing. Find it. It's there. I just want to say, I'm going to leave you with this, that while these last months have not been the easiest, things will get better. Things are not going to feel like this forever. Everything is temporary, but just roll with it. Like they say, life is 20% what actually happens to you and 80% of how you deal with it in your own perspective. Let's all take a moment, be present. We're here now. Thank you for being here with me. It means a lot. I'm excited to move forward now and talk about exciting things that are coming up, bring you some weekly positivity, talk to some amazing people. I'm so excited for some of the guests that I have lined up. They're truly people that I can't wait to talk to. I love talking. I love connecting. Send me all your questions that you want me maybe to cover in a solo cast, and we can talk about it all. Nothing's off limits. I obviously love music and I love concerts. So if you want to talk about that, I'm happy to do that as well. Thank you so much for joining me. And I appreciate all the support that you've already given me and that you've shown me. And I can't even express to you. I'm limited by the words to tell you how much this means to me. And again, thank you so much for tuning in.